there, this is Melissa from the library again, here to do another edition of Graphic Novel Book Club. For the Graphic Novel Book Club today, I thought it would be really great to book talk and do a fun craft surrounding this really great book called Donut the Destroyer. It's a really nice book that I found that when we just got it in, I just thought it was really kind of funny and silly, and I think it's a really good, kind of good-hearted one, and it's very out of the ordinary. So this book is definitely about our lead character named Donut, which I thought was kind of funny for a name. But Donut is actually lives in this universe where everybody in this universe has like a secret power or has a power, and they can either choose that power for good or for evil, and they can make that choice. In the case for Donut here, Donut actually has parents who decided to be villains. So Donut was grew up in this family where they had to, like I said, they were training Donut to be a villain. So in the book, you'll see in the story, Donut has a really hard time kind of agreeing with their parents. So what they do is that they sign up for, Donut signs up for this thing called Lionheart. I think it's called Lionheart. Yes, I think it is Lionheart. Yes, Lionheart Academy, where she'll be like around other people who who are trying to be heroes instead, which I thought was kind of silly and cute. But yes, So Donut wants to be around those type of people. She wants to do well in her community and do well, and she wants to not be a villain like her parents. So, of course, her parents are not okay with it, but she doesn't care. She's going to go for it because she wants to help people and she wants to do good in the world. Her friend Ivy, however, is not too thrilled that Donut is going to sign up for Lionheart Academy, but it is what it is. So, but her friend Ivy is going to do everything in her power to kind of take Donut off track to going to Lionheart Academy. Little does Ivy know that Donut gets accepted into the Academy for Heroes, and she meets a lot of new friends. And at first, it's really tough because it's a new school, you know. But Donut actually ends up finding her way, which is really great. And Ivy continues to try to sidetrack Donut. But as you can see if you read the book, Donut is like, no way. I'm going to do my thing. And she ends up having, in the end, it turns out really great for Donut. But I'm not going to give you any of those details. I really want you to check out this book. We have a copy. We actually have 2 copies here at the library that you can check out. So if you like this type of like good-hearted book, but actually kind of silly, this Donut the Destroyer is a really great graphic novel. Plus, the pictures are super nice. I love them. They kind of remind me of the ones in the Smile and Making Friends books. They're just very nice and cute and colorful, which I love. So there's Donuts. The author of this book also writes this other book called Glitch. So it's an older book, somewhat older book, but it is also really, I would highly recommend you read this one too. It's kind of along the same lines of our friend Donut here. So from what I understand, I think there's going to be probably more to this series, so just definitely keep an eye out for it. So to celebrate this book, I thought it'd be really fun to do a stuffy donut. So what that is that I cut out, if you guys pick up a kit at the children's desk, you'll get this a pre-cut out donut like this. And I'm going to give you guys felt, so like the purple parts for you to cut out, so that will serve as your topping. I mean, not as your topping, but as like the frosting. And then all these little circles kind of serve as like the toppings, if you would. So yeah, so this is what we're going to do. I actually pre-sewed all the donuts that come in the kits. So if you get a pre-sewn one, that's awesome. All you have to do is put on the icing as well as the decorations. And with the icing, it's fairly easy. Let me see. I think I may have misplaced it. Here it is. Well, here, I have actually a sample of the kit that I have at the library if you want to pick one up. They are while supplies last because they are kind of hard to put together. At least I think they are, and the materials are kind of hard to find, at least for me, because I have to like put everything together, but that's completely cool if you want one. But yes, what you want to do to make your the purple piece, some of you have pink, some of you guys have green, or I think yellow, is that you want to grab that piece, which kind of looks like this. It's just like a piece of felt, and you want to put it in half as such, and then you want to do it like this, hot dog style, with the fold facing up. And then you can either trace, you can either trace something, like trace around the circle and then just use it like that, or you can do it the hard way like I do. And what you can do is you can just cut it out yourself. What I did was that it's kind of hard to guesstimate kind of where, like how big it is. So what I like to do is it's just like kind of hold it to the donut like that and see how far you want it to be, and then you mark it right there, and then that's where you kind of start cutting. And then you can do the squiggle if you're into that kind of thing, and then you kind of just wing it, and then that's where those markings come in handy. You'll end up with something like that, kind of looks like a taco. And then what you want to do next, because you have that circle in the middle, you want to go ahead and cut a little circle in the middle. This is kind of where the tricky part comes in, because it is difficult to identify. I think mine is kind of wonky, but that's fine. This is kind of where the hard part is, where you kind of you have to measure it up towards the donut that you have already pre-done, and you have to kind of finagle around it. So it kind of looks like a blob now. And then let me fit it for size. It looks good to me at this point. Let's see. I think I need to trim it. So then the next part of this is that we need to cut out the donut, like that circle part of it. Okay, now it looks a little bit better. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna fold it in half as best as you can. Actually, you know what? It'd probably be easier. Put it on top of it like that, and then go ahead and cut, like trace the circle with like a marker. And then once you kind of do that, then go ahead and cut it out. What I would suggest once you get that circle out is you can kind of did an indent, is fold it in half and then do like a little piece like that, and then start cutting from the inside out. And it would be so much easier to cut the circle out. And then once you're done with that, I actually included some glue dots. So glue dots are kind of like glue stick, but they hold a lot better. Use these little glue dots, but just taking this plastic piece off. Here, when I struggle. And then go ahead and stick them onto the back, and then go ahead and stick them onto the felt itself, onto the donut felt. It's the brown felt itself, and then there's your topping. There's your frosting. The next step would be to put the little circles on, or the decorations, and that's super simple. All you do is grab the decorations. These puts a glue dot or a glue stick on it. Glue dot I recommend, and then stick it on. It sticks a lot better than glue stick. I have tried it. The last and final step is to put puffing into it, and then I included puffing into every kit that I put into. So I think I even included. So this is kind of up to you how much you want to put, but each of them has like a little hole where you want to insert it in. So my hole is on this side. So, and then you just add it in. I also included, it looks like kind of like a, what is it, like a skewer, if you would, like this long stick, and this will help you kind of push everything in. You can also use the back of a pencil, that helps too, or a spoon. I have noticed that works. And then you're probably also wondering, and then you just want to puff it up as much as you can. Obviously, don't puff it up too much, because then it'll come apart, and then you would have to resew it back. As you can tell, it's kind of puffy right there. That's where I'm putting it. And you want to do that all around your circle. And to close it, what I would do is grab some glue dots, the glue dots that I included, and put them all around. If you're interested in learning to sew, there's tons of videos on YouTube that show you how to do basic sewing, so that would definitely help out with this craft. If you're interested in sewing it yourself, you can also close it with a hot glue gun. That's an option too. And then, yeah, as you can tell, it's starting to open a little bit, so I would be careful if I were you. If that happens to you, it's super simple to close them shut. Obviously, you would have to use a needle and thread, and that's a whole nother situation. Or you can also use the glue dots. The glue dots work phenomenal with this felt-like material, which I love. Let's see. I'm just gonna simply go through how to string a needle. I recommend the threading needles, and they sell them at the store if you ever see them, or I also have some here at the library. If you want one, you can stop by. You grab a piece of thread, and then there's like a little hole right there, and then what you do, ow, I hurt myself, sorry, see, you don't want to do that. You go ahead and string it in. So even I'm having a hard time. But see, the self-threading needles are so nice because on the top, they have an empty hole that you can just do and string it through. And then I'm having a hard time right now because I'm trying to do two things at once. I am trying to talk to you guys and do this. So you just thread it through the top. The self-threading needles are so much easier than using the regular needles, I've realized. And then you go ahead and do that. And then what you do is cut how much you need. I'm just going to, for this intensive purposes. And then what you want to do is like double it up. As you can tell, I doubled it up. So doubled it up. And then at the end, to hold it secure, you want to do a double knot on it. Once you do that double knot on it, it's nice and secure and it's ready to go. I'm not going to do a knot for this because I just want to show you. Basically, sewing is really easy in a sense. I think what I learned when I watched YouTube. But all you do is, if you see the spot that you want to close, you grab your needle and you push it through one side of it. So just push it through. And then you pull it all the way through until you reach that knot that you made. The next thing that you do, so it comes out this end right here. And then what you do next, since it came out that end, you have to do it the opposite end to start it, to put it through. And then voila, it's set into the knot it came through. But yeah, it doesn't, it closes shut, and that's pretty much about it. In the future, I know it's kind of hard to do this and explain it to you while I'm watching you, while I'm doing this to you and showing it to you, but your best bet, I chose this craft because it's easier to do. It's mendable with glue dots, which I love, and I included 3 sheets in every kit, and if you need more, definitely stop by. But yeah, I'm hoping one day to offer a sewing program for you guys in the future when we're able to see each other again. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of Graphic Novel Book Club, and I'll see you until next time.